Sahith, you've had some good rallies to make the cut line lately, last couple of weeks. What's the vibe like on Sunday with the way you played today?
Yeah. I felt like this week I played even a little better than last week. Last week my putter kind of bailed me out a couple other rounds. I don't know what the stats said, but I made a bunch of putts last week to kind of backdoor top 10. But this week I hit it much better. The second day was really the only day where I hit a lot of bad iron shots. First day the driver was a little off, but the last 2 days really struck it well. Even yesterday shooting one over, a lot of positive signs, drove it great. Iron game felt good, so I wasn't deterred by yesterday's round at all. And yeah, just kind of bled into today. I hit it great, and the difference today was just I made some of those putts that I didn't make yesterday. So it was awesome to get it rolling. This place is so hard.
You obviously were aware of the shirts. Were you aware of them before they came out here and you saw them, or
No.
was that a surprise?
Yeah, it was a total surprise. I don't remember the exact story actually, but my dad tried to get a hold of Juju like 20 minutes before the round, so I think they put it together pretty last minute. But yeah, I had no idea. It was a surprise, and I love that. They've walked a lot now, so anything to keep them fresh and kind of another reason to celebrate is great. They always keep it exciting, which I really appreciate.
Did they give you one?
I actually didn't get one, no. I don't know if I want a shirt with my own face on it.
But when did you find out that you were in next week's field?
Yeah, I found out officially. I got the call from Chance and Jason. I think it was Thursday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. It might have been Wednesday. And then officially in the field when the field was set Friday at 5 p.m. or whatever it is. So I really didn't know till this week. I knew I had a decent chance just because I know it's really important to start the week or the year off well. They want guys that are, in good form and put on a show for them. And, just a huge thanks to them again. They gave me a spot in 2022, and that it really jump-started my career that week in 2022 and jump-started Scotty's as well. I let him have that one to start his historic run. But, just glad to be back there and, hopefully take advantage of that again.
Is that normal that you don't find out until, for a sponsor's exemption, until a few days before, or sometimes do you know, days, weeks ahead?
It's pretty hit or miss. This was obviously my first one in a while, but just depends on the circumstance. I feel like fresh out of college, I got 3 invites right out of college in the summer, and I knew pretty early on that I was getting those invites. But I think, it's really tough with a tournament like Waste. There's only, you throw Charlie in there, there's only 2 actual sponsor invites for the week, so it gets tight, and I totally understand them waiting to give out the invite, especially because we're already on the West Coast, so it's not a big deal logistically to get there. I take that back. I actually got a sponsor invite to Japan in the fall, and that one was also found out maybe a week before. But I kind of preemptively planned for that one, but still, it's just hit or miss. It's tough. It's tough to narrow down who to give the sponsor invites to. So as players, I just reach out, say if I can help the event in any way, and it's a blessing. It's definitely an opportunity. I never take it for granted. So, it's tough, especially these signature events that are coming up. I'm not envious of the committee or tournament directors to try and weed out who to pick, because there's a lot of great players that are not in those fields.
Last one. You talked about how you're feeling healthy this year after playing a couple of straight weeks. You talked about what a grind it is.
Yeah.
This is obviously not an easy course, and it's to get around. How's your body now?
Yeah, my body feels incredible. Really good. Better than I thought I would, and I was pretty positive. I was pretty bullish on my body before the season, but now even more so. A lot of it is just daily routine recovery stuff. You look at Rosie; he's the king of recovery, and just implemented that more into what I'm doing. Not a bunch of more stretching, a lot of recovery stuff. Not necessarily more time in the gym, but just stuff that's going to help me play this game as long as possible. We'll see how it feels. Hopefully I end up playing 6 in a row here, and maybe even more. See how the body feels. At some point I got to take a week off, so hopefully I have that issue of having to take a week off. But I feel great, and a big thing that I've did kind of earlier when I was Corn Ferry and first year on tour. I took a lot of Mondays off, which kind of really helped me recover, and I didn't really do that the last few years, I think. So I'm going to force myself to take Mondays completely off, even if I want to really badly get on the putting green or anything. All that mileage that you walk even on a putting green really adds up. So just being more on top of that stuff as well.
Couple for you. What makes Justin the king of recovery?
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing at 45 is unbelievable. It kind of is, I don't want to say it's Djokovic, like Djokovic is the GOAT, but just to be able to gain the ball speed he has, to be able to keep the competitive fire that he has, the discipline, while also being a great family man. I got to know him a lot better through TGL and being on my LAGC team, and he kind of does it all. He's very, very impressive, and somehow I feel like he's flown under the radar for 20-plus years. I mean, number one in the world, major champ, gold medalist, whatever, you name it, you feel like he's done it. So, and to be playing potentially some of the best golf of his life now, I know he wants to win majors really bad, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he snags one this year at all, especially after last year. But yeah, I think it's been known for a while that he had his little recovery stations and, does the cold plunges, the saunas, the stretching, the gym work, whatever it might be. He does pretty much anything necessary. And I didn't really have that attitude, and I'm going to get more to that. I don't know if anyone can take it as extreme as some of these guys do, and I'm sure a lot of these top guys behind the scenes are doing very similar recovery stuff, because it is pretty brutal. It's golf sneaky tough on the body. So, yeah, he does a lot of things the right way. He's all class.
Thank you. And then how many family members were out this week, would you say?
Yeah, it wasn't definitely wasn't the most I've ever had. I actually don't know. I try to avoid looking at them too much to not rile them up too much. But, yeah, there's definitely a good crowd. I could hear them. Obviously, I hear my dad. I'd say there's probably 2 or 3 uncles and then some good family friends. But it's a blast. I have a lot of my friends here as well. So
it's funny that you say about you don't want to rile them up, because they're probably already pretty riled, right? So So you don't want to encourage it anymore?
I mean, I love how they are on the golf course. I've never been that way. And, golf's a funny game. Like, I do feel like I wear my emotions on my sleeve. But you can never get too high or too low on yourself out there. And sometimes, when you're watching golf, you can get as high as you want. It doesn't matter. The come down's not going to really affect you. But, while I'm in the battlefield, so to speak, you just got to try and stay as level-headed as possible. And, there's very rare occasions where you can just completely lose it. I think Rosie can afford a few coming down the stretch. But, yeah, I try and stay as level-headed as possible. And, but I know they're always cheering me no matter what happens, and that's really cool.
It's got to be a cool thing, right?
Very cool, yeah. Puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
Just, you talked a little about Justin's fitness routine, but just how impressive is what he's doing this week?
Yeah, he obviously loves his place as well. I think he already has a scoring record here at Torrey, so I'm sure he's set a bunch of new scoring records here this week, but it's really impressive what he's doing. I think he's 45 years old, so whatever. His career's already been so long, and I love that comment he made about just trying to make good new memories. It's got to be taxing to be doing it for that long and kind of finding, like, his why again. And I know his kids are a little bit older, and, yeah, he's just got such a great perspective about it. And, yeah, I don't know if anyone works harder, so it's pretty cool to see it coming to fruition, just seeing some of the stuff he does behind the scenes, and yeah, it's incredibly impressive. This is a big track. Again, he's gained distance to start this year, it seems like, and just seems so dedicated to the grind again.
So just one more from me. You were talking about sponsor exemptions next week, and if I recall right, in your rookie year, it was here, I think, that Waste Management traveled to this tournament to give you your first.
Yeah.
How surprising was that when you came out of the scoring?
That was awesome. Yeah, I found out the schedule was a little different that time, so Pebble was in between here and Waste that year, so they gave me a week heads up. But I genuinely didn't have an idea that it was coming. Obviously, I made the effort to try and get that invite. But yeah, it was a huge blessing in disguise. And again, I think it really kickstarted my career. It was the first time I was kind of thrown in the cauldron and just asked to perform, and played some of the best golf of my life those first 2 rounds. So yeah, it's special that they gave me another sponsor invite. I know they absolutely didn't have to. And yeah, regardless of what the outcome was this week, I was going to go there and play because they've gone out of their way to give me the sponsor invite. And yeah, I'm just really appreciative of that.
Great. One more.
How'd the course play this week? What did you think of the condition of the course?
Yeah, it's probably some of the best condition I've ever played Torrey in. I think the weather was super conducive to that. We had a bunch of rain early on in the year and then a bunch of sunshine later, so the greens were nice and crispy. I've definitely seen them firmer. I don't think they're as firm as they could have gotten them, and I think that's a big reason why the scores are so low. It's so rare that you get sunny, warm days at Torrey with no wind, so it's just a green light special for everyone. That being said, this golf course is still very difficult, even with no difficult conditions. So I thought it was awesome. Even with the POA creeping up on the bent on the north, they still rolled great. And you know what you're going to get with the greens on the south. There's piers they get in the morning, and it's POA, and that's why I love POA. I try and look at it in a way where I get the good bounces. Sometimes a bad putt goes in here. But yeah, it was as pure as I've ever seen it, I think. So
The greens are
big appreciation to the grounds crew for doing that for us.
Can I ask you about one shot that you probably you had a great round and a great tournament, but sometimes people learn from you guys when you don't hit a shot as well, and maybe the last chip. What's the teaching moment for you on that?
Yeah, it was. I kind of missed it in a bad spot. I hit it right where I was looking, but it was like right down the spine in the middle of the green. So I definitely tried to play maybe the more aggressive shot. I could have gone out right, and if the ball comes out hot, then it's not going in the water. It's going 15 feet in the fringe or just in the intermediate there. I wanted to get it in there pretty close, so I kind of went more straight on, and it was a very dicey lie, and I feel like if it came out hot at all, you're worried about the water there. So just trying to dribble over the ridge, and it was probably a combination of just didn't fully commit to the shot I was hitting, and it was also a gnarly lie. Sometimes you just get bad lies, so yeah, it was just a combination of that. Happens sometimes for sure. I don't think there's anything too mechanical about that. It was more maybe not hitting the right shot, so.
Great round.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Mark.